Hello, beautiful people. It is Mama on a Mission. It has been a minute since I've done one of these videos. Summer's coming, more will come. Palm Beach County teachers, we have one more day. Hold on, one more day. Orange County teachers, you're done. You're just packing up and cleaning that classroom up. Anyways, I have noticed a common theme these last couple months, probably since November. It's a like this paradigm of like love-based or fear-based, and I kind of wanted to expound upon that and dive a little bit deeper into that. We always have two paths we can always choose from: love, fear. When was it? November? No, November is when I was actually thinking about that. But March is when I did my last sermon, and I was talking about unconditional love and how we're supposed to love without expectation. We're supposed to love without attachment. And, I've asked a lot of comments like, do you think this is possible? And, I've heard like mothers have that with children, possibly some fathers. This is what I've been told. I'm only reporting from the trenches live. But like sometimes in relationships, it can be a little more challenging. I guess it depends whether another person has that unconditional love for us. But I think it's always important to have unconditional love for yourself. That is one of the truest things that we can do as spiritual beings. So having unconditional love for yourself is when somebody is crossing a boundary, it's not allow them to do that. You're not a carpet in this lifetime. Just because we're light workers and empaths doesn't mean we allow everyone to walk over us. We have our boundaries, and we need to make sure that, we establish what they are. We have to first know what they are. And then when somebody infringes upon them, you kind of just say like, hey, that bothered me. I would appreciate it next time if you did this. It's our responsibility that we allow people know what is okay within us. And we can always love them unconditionally if, they're not willing to listen. So it's not like this hold anger or be upset with them. It's just like, all right, this is where you're on your path, and that's okay, and I can love you from afar. This is what I expect. And, it goes with that double line, that expectation. But we have to make sure that we're always true to ourselves. And like when we're heart-centered, when we're vulnerable, everyone's just like, I can get hurt. Yeah, absolutely, you can get hurt. But in your vulnerability, that is where it sets you apart. That is not a weakness. Vulnerability is your strength. It is one of your superpowers. When you're able to just, be that love, because you can't teach people how to love. That's just, no. How you teach is you embody it. You become that love. And then others can witness it within you. What is it saying? What you want in this world, you put out. So for instance, if you want love, like you have to be that love before you receive that love. Love is our essence. It's who we are. And some of us, forget, and that's okay. We all have our different paths and all different walks. And when other people, they do things to us, you have to remember we're each other's mirrors. And so we're literally like reflecting back, oh, this isn't healed. Especially like twin flame couples out there. Good Lord, have mercy upon your soul. You want to talk about somebody triggering you. You're not healed, boom. You're not healed, boom. Gotta go heal this, boom. Because that's what it's about. It's about realizing what is inside of us that is not working, and to go inside and heal it. Not just bury it, not just hop into another relationship, not to move, not to switch jobs. You have to figure out like what's actually going on with you and go in this like kind of like isolation process and just think, what is this trying to teach me? What am I supposed to learn from this experience? Because if you don't learn, it's going to come back up in another relationship, another job, and whatever you're trying to run from. Run, Forrest, run. Oh, you can only run so far from the universe because it will always come back to you. And when you're reflecting back with people, some people get triggered. And like, if it has nothing to do with you, you're just, okay, that's all right. It's important for you to know who you are and establish who you are. And when somebody, says something to you, just be like, oh, I'm sorry. That's not me. That could be a reflection of them projecting onto you. But if you know who you are, it doesn't really matter what anyone says, because It's you. It's who you are. And other people are just mirroring back. One of the things that I teach my kids is I am only responsible for me. I think I've actually taught this to adults quite recently, is I'm only responsible for me. Because we always feel like we need to be responsible for other people. Now, obviously, if you're a mother or you're a father, you're responsible for your kids to a certain age, but you're teaching them to be responsible. You're teaching them by demonstration of like what is accepted and what is not. One of the two most powerful words you can ever use is the I am. When you're calling upon the I am presence, you're calling upon your divinity within inside of you. So you want to make sure anytime you say I am, something positive is coming right behind it. Because if you sit there and say, I am sad or I am broke, oh, you are summoning more sadness and more financial problems. And even if it hasn't manifested, say like money, I am rich, I am blessed, I'm abundant, and you keep saying it, that I am over and over and over, and this sounds silly, but go literally look into a mirror and say those things and feel those things and know those things, because that shapes your reality. What are you watering? Are you watering positive thoughts or are you watering negative thoughts? If you want something to change, only you have the power to change it. The one thing that I've realized recently, it's kind of mind-boggling if you really want to think about it, but we live in a world with infinite potential energy. Infinite. It's whatever we're giving conscious thought, conscious intention to, it will blossom. And things change so quickly. It's insane, especially now. Can you believe like tomorrow's like the last day of school? Hello, summer. Very excited to see you. But like this year literally went boom. Like this weekend's June. What happened? It's gone. But we're not going to talk about timelines right now. You want to make sure that your thoughts, your thinking, your conscious attention is always in the positive. Even if you're going knee deep in it right now, keep your thoughts positive. Of course, you're going to have some moments, but like allow these thoughts, be like the bystander of your thinking. Like just observe it and don't connect to it. You have these paths, the love, the fear. Love is that just being, that just knowing, it doesn't stop. And fear is like you're afraid. And so you keep running and you keep ducking and, it's always love or fear. And what path are you're going to choose? Everything in your life right now, you created it. Yeah. There's a meme I want to put out, but it's dropping an F-bomb, and I'm not sure if I want to do that, but seriously, it's like, oh, look at this. I created that. Well, boom. It makes me laugh. Because if you don't like something, change it. You don't like the way you look? Change it. You don't like your job? Change it. You don't like your relationship? Change it. Now, one thing I've learned is you actually cannot change people. You can only change yourself. Yes. No matter how hard you try, there's no changing people. People who are who they are. So you have three things. You can accept them. You can't change them. You gotta change you. Or you walk away from it. In any situation, you always have those three conscious choices. Accept it, change it, walk away from it. So, what do you choose now? We come in here, we have these things called soul contracts, and that's probably a whole other video by itself. And you're learning different things. Like one of my soul contracts is patience. Love it. Love patience. Love patience. Patience is like a 4-letter word in my world, but I have to learn it. I have to understand it. I just have to go and flow and surrender and be and all that fabulous words. But honestly, patience is one of those lessons where you have to learn just to be and go and flow. And you'll see different synchronicities while you're in flow, and synchronicities are just a beautiful thing. So there's different laws that we have. They're universal laws. It's not like for instance, I was driving the other day, I was going a little fast, I got a speeding ticket. That's what happens when you drive fast. You get tickets, called the consequence. I teach my kids that too. But there's universal laws. Like for instance, the law of manifestation, aka the law of attraction. Now we've heard about that because of The Secret, but I feel like we've heard about it, but we get these little nuggets, but we're not getting the whole thing because I'm just I am a billionaire. Where's my money? So we're missing different pieces. So you are the center of your universe. Literally, you're it. You're the creator. You co-create with your essence, and you have infinite. I call it potential energy because I teach science, but you really do. And they're out there. And they first start in your mind. That's why imagination is so important, because that's where it starts. You know, as a kid, we got that down pat. Sometimes we tell our kids, like, you need focus, but like imagination is a huge part of who we are. And as an adult, we kind of like let it like fly away. You know, on Earth, we have a delay. Seriously, we have a delay. And if you think about it, it's kind of a good thing. Can you imagine you're just in a bad mood? I hope this person, and the poof, it happens. That would be terrible. That would be a really bad thing. In spirit, we manifest things so easily over there. We think it, boom, it's done. On Earth, we have a delay, which is a good thing, because sometimes it's not always the positive thing that we think. But if we're consciously thinking about something or working towards something, you're going to attract it. Everything in your life right now, you've attracted thus far. Now, don't hand your power to somebody else. Don't be like, well, this person did this, or stop. You're it. You're the whole enchilada. It's you. It's your world. It's your universe. What do you want to create in this moment for your future to bring towards you? And where do your thoughts keep going? A lot of times where your thoughts keep going, it's for a reason. Like, for instance, like when you think about others, a lot of times they're actually thinking about you at that exact time. You ever like text somebody and they're like, oh, I was just thinking of you, or vice versa. Like you were thinking about something and like poof, a text message or a call happened. It's energy, babies. We're all energies. We're literally walking energy. It's all about your frequency, and it's all about your vibration. It's like what you're putting out. So, not only that, we're like walking radio signals. Literally. Your energy introduces you before your mouth does. And my empaths, you know what I'm talking about. Like you walk into a place and you're like, oh, something just happened in here. It's like too much. You can feel happiness. You could feel sadness. You could feel someone's anger. It's all energy. And since you're an empath and you're open to it, and I'm actually going to say something. Most people on this planet are empaths, whether they choose to acknowledge it or not. They might not embrace it. They might go, nope, not me. I don't want to hear it. No. Keep it for yourself. Babies, we're just divine spirits having an earthly physical experience. It's who we are. So, I'm not going to say this word correctly. I'm going to botch it. Whereas Ellie, you were supposed to help me with this word the other day, but it's okay. You attract things into your energy. Like renaissance. I think I said it correctly. I'm not exactly sure. Who we are and what we are, we attract. That's why you'll notice like some people kind of like ebb and flow out of your life. If your vibration is not matching each other, and sometimes you go, and it's like, it's kind of like it's back and forth, back and flow. It's the energy that you possess inside of you. It's what you're vibrating at that current time. Now there's 3 different types of energy. There's that emotional energy, there's the cognitive, the thinking energy, and then there's your body energy. Now, it breaks my heart when people are just like, well, I can't trust this person, and this person did this, and this person did that. Do you know what you're literally saying to the universe? Do you know what you're saying? You're literally telling the universe, please send me more people that I'm not going to trust. Do you hear that? That's a little crazy. So if you have people that have broken your trust, all right, acknowledge it. And then make sure that you are being trustworthy at all times. And when somebody, don't claim that as yours. Heck no, leave that be. Let that go. You live in the now. You live not in the past. Already happened. Not in the future. You're in the process of creating that right here, right now. That is all we have, people. It's a gift. That's why it's called a present. So, when somebody's triggering you, I want you to think about, what is that underlining source? Is it love? Is it fear? Is it hate? Think about it and then release it. Let it go. And there's so many different types of fear that we can experience. Fear of the future, fear of being rejected, abandoned. We also have fear of failure. Which one are you resonating with? And if you are, acknowledge it and let it go, because you don't want it to return to you. Because who wants to live in fear? Because is fear technically going to get you anywhere? It's going to get you somewhere. It just might not be the easiest path. Oh my God, Florida, seriously, it is like 90 degrees out here. Summer, it's not supposed to be here yet, but hello, it is. Now, have you ever noticed something? When you are emotionally charged, whew, you want to talk about manifesting something really quickly? So like, you ever been like really angry and like it happens almost immediately? Yeah, your emotions are like the gateway. They kind of like let you know, but at the same time, that very intense energy, manifestation happens at like warp speed. So you have to be very mindful of what emotion that you're carrying. And that's why I always hear like, just kind of like, be still, don't let people trigger you, like just don't allow that energy. Because if somebody's making you angry, do you know at that exact moment, like they're literally in control of you? Like you stop, you're like, here, take my power, you have the keys. But like stop, like don't allow people to trigger you. Like just take a step back, peace begin with me. However you need to calm your mind, walk outside with your shoes off, go listen to music, dance for a couple minutes, whatever you need to do to get yourself grounded. And not take that in and reflect back. Because remember, we're just mirrors for people. Another law is the law of pure desire. Oh yes, so beautiful. Underneath every drive, we have this reason, this desire why we want to do it. Now we can accelerate it, or we can also block it. So write down your goals. Literally, write them down. It's always good to write things down. Have no doubt, have no fear, and for Lord have mercy, do not have desperation. Because you're going to repulse it away. If you're desperate for something, you're literally pushing it back. I tell all my girlfriends about like the rubber band method. I don't know if I should tell you. Some of y'all might be listening. You might use it against me. No, you won't. No, you won't. I'll tell you though. All right, so think about any relationship. Friend, spouse, kid. It's a rubber band. It goes like this. I got this from a book. I think Men Are For Me, and it's one of those things. I thought it was mine, but apparently I read it again. I'm like, oh, I thought this was mine. I was using it for so many years. Anyways, focus, Christine. So you have this band. And when somebody's like pulling away, it's natural for us to go, because what happens when you go, the other person's going, you're pushing it back. You're literally repulsing it back. So when you feel, because you can feel when people are pulling back, don't do anything. Just hold. Stay in your place. Don't react. Don't move. And either the people are going to be like, oh, what's going on? And they're going to gravitate towards you, or connection will be broke. But you always know where you stand. You want to set your attention to the universe. You want to be clear as possible, because the universe doesn't see positive or negative. It literally just gives back to you what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're proclaiming. So you want to make sure that you're clear. And you have to be like a little kid. You have to be so enthusiastic about it, and you have to believe it. Like, for instance, I was talking about like Luke. Luke was doing something, and he was like selling something. I go, you literally sold like the worst box that I've ever seen. And like, he was just so happy about these cookies that like he sold it because he was so excited. You have to like set your soul on fire. Because if you're not excited about something, you think anyone else is? No, they're not going to hear it. They want to see excitement. They want to see joy. They want to, some people want to see pain and anger, but who won't? No. They want to see the joy. And you have to be genuine, and you have to have this hope inside of you. And that is how the energy shifts. The attitude of gratitude. You want something to come to you, have that attitude of gratitude. Even when it's not even manifest, you still have that attitude of gratitude. Thank you, 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 and say what you're thankful for. Because when you're thankful for something, you already have it, and the universe will bring it to you. So, when you have all of these emotions, when you have this pure intent, you have everything written down. There's this thing, goes back to one of my lessons. Patience, but no, suffering. Not suffering, that's funny. Surrendering, another 4-letter word in my world. Learning it. You have to surrender. You just have to Know that you know that you know that it's coming, and not have that desperate, repulsive energy, and let it go. Like, know that it's there, and don't, I've heard people say put a time limit on it, and I've heard people say that don't put a time limit on it. When you're putting a time limit on things, like, you're saying that you don't really have it, are you? So just kind of like know that you have it, surrender to it. And now this is going to be an interesting topic. My face is melting, I apologize. It's called the paradoxical intent. If you're so desperate to make something happen, you're gonna push it away. Whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, a job, moving, you're gonna push it away energetically. That's why you have to know that it's yours, but then let it go. Let it go. Don't know how it's coming to you. Thank you, universe, it's mine. Because when you have desperation, when you have urgency, that's kind of like deal breakers. And that's the blocking of the manifestation. You have to engage in trusting it. And when you worry, because honestly, what's the point of worrying? You're handing away your power. You're bringing more of that problem to you. It's no good. So the worrying, just get it out. Focus on something else. Focus on the positive in that moment. And have that peaceful intention and that peaceful pursuit within inside of you. I'm like burping like a little baby over here. Apologize. But when you're patient and you're trusting and you're surrendering to the divine timing, it's not about, it kind of is. It's not about you, but it kind of is about you. But you're surrendering. You're giving it up. Now, as you give it up, this is going to sound a little backwards. You know that it's yours. You have to have an action behind it. A daily, consistent action. So, for instance, if you're writing a book, here I am. Every day, just write a little bit. If I don't have time because I have 3 kids and I'm moonlighting as a teacher right now, just write a little bit. And then that energy is going to be put into motion. Like, yeah, my book is finished, but I'm still on my last chapter for the last month. It's going to be done. It's okay. Everything's blossoming at the perfect timing. And you just kind of surrender. Because it's interesting, because when you think that you're going to be finished with something, and then like this, and the whole world pops up, other things have been coming to me that is, going to enhance it. So I'm actually kind of glad that I'm not 100% done with it. And you want to make sure that your attitude about whatever you're doing is always in the positive. Because who in the world likes a negative attitude? Who wants to be around those people? Who wants to be around the curmudgeons of the world? Not I. All right, so your daily practice, whether it's losing weight, whether it's writing a book, whether it's starting a business, whatever it is. Like, think about people in the Olympics. Every single day for hours, they practice and practice and practice and practice. Now, I'm not saying that you have hours to do something, but you want to make a daily habitual practice of whatever you're creating. And then you detach from it. I know. How can I make a daily practice from it, but then detach from it? When you make that daily conscious action, you're putting it into your field, but you're detaching yourself from the outcome. That's why a lot of times, this is where at least for me personally, I feel like that I fail, is because I have these thoughts, I have that strong emotion, I'm putting things into action, I'm writing on a piece of paper and I'm doing it, and I don't detach. I keep myself on it. And when you don't detach, when you don't surrender, it causes desperation, which causes it to be in delay. That's why, as I'm moonlighting as a teacher, I'm not going to say this is my last year teaching ever again. Because whenever is my last year teaching, it's going to happen. But, well, behind a desk, in the classroom. I'll always be a teacher. But I'm going to stop saying it. Because I don't know how many, y'all, for the people who know me, how many times have I said, this is my last year teaching. This is my last year teaching. Here I am, people, still teaching. I love kids. I love being around kids. So, what do you want? What do you want to create? What do you want to bring into fruition? Because it starts with you. And it's all about your vibration and your frequency and like what you're putting out. So the biggest thing is you want to keep your vibration high as possible. Exercise. I'm a fan of spring water because some of those water, they just taste weird to me. I was talking about